Hey YouTube, this is Lego Boy 12336 with another Lego Star Wars review. I know it's been quite a while since I have done reviews, but we're going to get to it. But before we get to the review, I have a few things to mention to you, some updates. Number one, from Roblox, I have finally made, all the other games that I've made are horrible and they didn't work for me. I finally made a game, remember the game that we played, that I showed you in the last Roblox video, the Slenderman. I made one for myself, so you guys can play it. It's very similar, it's almost the same thing as the other one, but I've made it, and I'm trying to spread the word, so because right now I have just released it, I have had 0 visits, because they just released it today, but I want to get people to try it, so spread the word about it, and I tested it. It runs really well. It does. I'm at least 95% that nothing wrong will happen, except that what's supposed to happen in the game. No disintegrating pieces. So, you could try that game out, and I will do another video, but it's pretty much the same thing, but I don't want to start playing until other people play it, hopefully. So at some point, people will start playing it. But I want to get the word spread about my game that I just made. That's the first thing. Number two, if you guys know the Lego Star Wars, the video game, that's the original Lego Star Wars game with only episodes 1, 2, and 3. I bought it off Amazon. You guys are asking why. Well, I do have the, obviously I have the complete saga too on my, on iOS, on my phone and my iPod, and I have it for the Wii. I think that I might get the original trilogy too. I think the video game is classic because that game I played when I was a child. I played that game when I was very young, so it brings back memories, number one. Number two, it's a very classic game because of the Dexter's Diner. So I bought it for my computer, which does not have a disk drive, so my dad's going to let me have his once it comes in. So it's estimated to come in sometime this week. But I will show you it on YouTube. But it's the video game, episodes 1, 2, and 3 with the Dexter's Diner. Because in my opinion, I love that game. I wish they would make it on iOS, but I guess it's not that very popular that many people would like it. I do. But I wish that somehow someone could create it. Same for the original trilogy as well. The original trilogy, I feel the same way. I like that because it's the original. I mean, it's the same thing, but the video game is really a classic for me because like I said, I played that game all the time when I was very young, when I was like 7, maybe a little older, like 10 or something like that, within those 4 years, 3 years. But that's why I got the game, because I think it's a classic and I love it. The music I really love too. I watch it on YouTube sometimes, people playing it. So yeah, so that game I ordered for a computer, PC. So I will show you that once it comes in, because I really want that game. I tried looking for it on. I know I have the link for that 1 and 2 on a website. I forgot what it was called, under my About page. I downloaded. I'll show you. I did download the demo. I guess it's out of date at this point, because after I played it, it only features episode 1, or not episode 1, level 1 on episode 1, and after you complete it, it gives you a link to the website where you can download it, and I copied that link and I put it in the address bar, and nothing came up. So it must be an out of date game. They probably don't have it even on the website up anymore, because when I played it after I finished the level, it said thank you for playing the demo, and it had a little link to buying, which wouldn't have been a problem. I could have bought the game, but they don't. I copied the link and I put it in the description. I cannot talk today. I put it in the address bar on the Internet Explorer, and I copied it and pasted it, and when I searched it, it said page cannot be displayed. Where you get that? So I guess it means that that page can no longer be displayed, because I guess the game is out of date, so they don't have it anymore. but I'm surprised they have the demo still. So I know that's the link to the link to the two ones, episodes 1 and 2 that I have in my About page on my channel. That's what it takes you to. But I guess it's out of date because I tried playing it only so you could download the demo. The demo for surely works, but when it says buy now, it doesn't work. When you try to do buy now, it doesn't work. So I guess it's out of date. So that is that. The third thing I want to mention is I got a new iPod. So now I have two iPods. I got the silver, because I didn't even know this because I was at the Apple Store last night. And I guess they have now just released a 16 gigabyte, because the last time I remember, a while back I did a review, I still have that video which I have not deleted, of the iPod, the original, or not the original, the before the iPod 5. The iPod 5, when you remember, the 16 gigabyte, didn't have the camera, and it had the black front-facing screen. And it didn't come in colors, it only came in silver with a black screen. I guess that iPod is out of date now. They don't sell anymore, because now they have the 16 gigabyte as well for color with a camera. So they must have just released it, because I didn't know about it till yesterday, till they told me. I was like, oh wow. So I got a 16 gigabyte iPod silver, and I'm obviously using the one that is recording right now is my blue one. The reason why, and I will show you on a separate video, using this iPod to record, I'll show you the damage that's been done to my blue one. My blue one still works software-wise, but it's been stolen. I'm not going to give details about it because it's kind of personal. I'll just say it's been stolen, and when I recovered it, it was all scratched up, and it was all messed up because the person, I guess, did something to it. I don't know. So, yeah. So I was able to get a new one. So now I have 3 iPods, because you see my 4th generation right here, and then again my phone is right here. So I am just loaded with devices. And my computer. So, sorry about that talk. That was a long talk. Again, if we reach the 15-minute mark, we'll do part 2. But let's go ahead and begin with the Starfighter, the Infiltrator. I'm sorry it got that long. Here we go. So, I had a lot to say there. So, and then the last thing I want to mention, too, actually, is I'm still working on the whole screen recorder thing. I'll try to get that soon. But still working on it, because again, like I said before in the previous few, I'd said this before a while back, I don't remember which video I said it in, but I remember saying it. I said that when I record something, or when I download something, because I told you recently my computer was recovered a few months ago from a virus when I downloaded something, so I need to be careful on what I download, so I'll have to prove with my dad if I can do it, because I don't want my computer to get, but now I got protection on it, so. But I'll try. If I can get one for free, I can do that. Here we go. I'm talking, and we'll begin on the review. So, you can already, by looking at it, you can see the difference. Really, just the front. There's one thing in the back I'll show you. But basically, what I did is the bottom of it, I connected it. When I rebuilt it, I basically decided to do it because I saw the model of the one that was made, not this one that was just made, but after Disney, because, I think you guys heard that George Lucas sold his Star Wars movies to Disney, so now all the Lego Star Wars products that they still sell them at Walmart, which are now ridiculously priced, the boxes now say Disney on them, because now Disney owns Star Wars, because George Lucas gave it over to Disney, and Disney gave him $1,000, so now he no longer owns Star Wars, which is sad, but he's old, so he wants to relive his. But you know what? Now that Disney have it, they're probably going to make Star Wars look pretty bad. That's just my opinion. They're probably going to make it look horrible, because nothing, in my opinion, is going to override the 6 original movies from Star Wars. Nothing will. Nothing will. Those movies are legendary, in my opinion. They are awesome, and I love the movie. But so the thing I want to talk about, I actually know what I'm gonna do. I'll just explain to you everything, and then we will hit a part 2 for the review. And the part 1, we've done all this. I will just explain to you what I did. So obviously you can already see, because I'm gonna keep the other one up to the other video. Basically, I took off because I was able to figure out where I could just take off the front part, and I removed it, and then I built this part, and then connected this to this. That's how I kind of build my ships, is I build them part by part, so that if I decide I want to make any modifications, I can easily, without actually having to demolish the whole entire thing, I can take it apart separately into pieces. Not like pieces, I can take them apart into groups. So I could remove this, work on this, or remove this and work on that. But you can already see the back is the same, but I changed this front, and we will review it in part 2. But that's basically what I did. I connected, so you will see it's nicer. I'm still trying to work on it because compared to this long piece, this front part's kind of bulky and small, and I think it should be a little longer. So I might later on kind of maybe extend this to make this a little better. But for now, I'll keep it as it is. But again, all my other ships, I'll show you, are the same. They all are. None of them have changed. So they're all the same. That's what I'm trying to think of maybe going back, which I already done for this one, going back and maybe kind of changing them up a little bit. This one right here, I've had, but I'm starting to not like it anymore, so I might build something else with it. But again, like I've said before, I think I've told you this, that I've used all my good pieces. This ship's beast right here. This is awesome. But I've used all my good pieces to build a ship, so I no longer could build probably a ship that would be better than these, or at least even as good as those. So I've used all my good pieces. But I might consider taking this one apart here and building something else with it. That's the only one I really don't like. The rest of them are really cool. I showed you all of these. You saw all of these. You saw this one up here. You saw all of these. The MTT, Bounty Hunter, Gold Assault Gunship. So you've seen all of these ships. So I've shown you all of them. But I'm trying to figure out what I might do too. Is I've done a lot of ships, but I might start taking more advantage of my minifigures. I know I've done reviews and showing all my minifigures, but I might try to make a battle scene. Remember when I did the stop motion? I might be back up on that again, because I know I kind of did it once, but I might do a stop motion again. It takes time, and it was really hard. And I showed my parents, and they thought, because like I said before, that was my first stop motion I've ever made. And people said, because I showed a lot of my teachers from school, and I showed, because my art teacher, he deals with stuff like that, and I showed him, and he was like, "You did good for your first time." And I was like, "Yeah, I kind of agree." People were telling me that I did my video, I did the stop motion, that was good for my first time. So I was like, I guess, yeah, I did. But so I'll probably start to work on more, and I want to make a background too, but might make a battle scene. But it's going to be hard, because again, I'm still trying to gain experience and learn from it, because that was my first stop motion that you saw. Well, the other ones too. The shipbuilding itself, the Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting, the General Grievous, all this little stop motion that you saw. Even the 15-second ones took me 5 minutes to do. So you see there's a big difference in time. You saw the one Anakin and Obi-Wan did, you saw the clock in the background. So you saw how time was going by like that. Went by pretty fast, because that's how long it takes. I can't remember, I used like over 500 pixel pictures to make that video for Anakin versus Obi-Wan. So 500 equals like 2 minutes. So that tells you it takes time to do them. But what I actually deleted the app, so I might have lost the video, but I say I could extend on it. But I'll probably start working on more stop motions again and doing that. But yeah, so I talked, sorry. So I guess that was an update. Check for part 2 to get the review of the Infiltrator. I just wanted to tell you all that because that is what's happening. Check for part 2 to see the review of the Infiltrator.